Dark Souls 3 walkthrough. This time around, I'm going to be doing a walkthrough with a strength build, since I haven't done one of those yet, and see if I can't do this as quickly as possible for you guys, but at the same time I want to go through all the items, just letting you know what they do, and also I'm going to see if I can do a minimum shield run. So I'm not going to be using the shield as much as most people do, but I may end up using it for boss fights and things like that. So just want to get everybody prepared, and welcome to the stream, and hope you like it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, of course, get into the new game. And I was thinking, since I'm doing a strength build, seems kind of cheesy, but I think I'm going to go ahead and name my guy Hercules. Because I think that would be kind of fitting for the weapons I'm going to be using. They're going to be really heavy and really strong, so
it is called
here it goes.
Where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones. When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, saint of the deep, Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers. And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yon the giant. Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
Alright, sorry you guys had to sit through that long video there. But now that I'm starting up my build, just first thing I need to go ahead and do is just go ahead and name him. And like I said, I'm thinking I'm going to do Hercules. I feel like that'd be kind of fitting for a strength character. Alright, and if you haven't already noticed, this is the Japanese version of the game. I haven't gotten around to buying the American version just yet. But let me see if I can go ahead and get him all set up. The build that I want to go ahead and start with for strength is, or should I say the starting class is going to be the warrior. Of course, he is definitely going to be the toughest. His strength stat is already sitting at 16, so I'm already on my way. Also, he has high vigor, which is sitting at 14 right now, which means I'm going to have a lot of health, be able to tank a lot. Endurance is sitting at 12, so I'm definitely going to be able to do a few more swings with heavier weapons. But other than that, the other stats to me don't even matter, so let's go ahead and just select that. And also, for my starting class item, I'm going to go ahead and do the life ring, which is going to make it so that I get, I believe, somewhere between 7 and 10% more HP. And now let me go ahead and just do my preset build for you guys. Alright, and he's already set up, got everything all good there, and I don't know if you noticed, he got the red eyes there. Alright, but let's go ahead and get started. Alright, and now here we are in the very first area. It's kind of like a tutorial area for people that haven't played any Dark Souls games. In every Souls game, Bloodborne included, there's kind of a starting area you go through. Just kind of gets you accustomed to the game. Of course, nothing's really explained to you, you kind of have to figure things out, but once you get a good grasp on things, definitely going to be a lot more understandable. Speaking of understandings, I don't understand how this guy came back to life, but got Primo Zombie here, I guess. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to try to run through this area pretty quick here, just because, of course, this is going to be the tutorial. Definitely want to get to the meat and potatoes of the game, so I'm just going to go ahead and try to just run through these guys, try to pick up all the items for you so you can kind of see where everything is. Alright, and this should be it's going to be a couple of souls that you can use. And just in case you're not aware, the bottom right side of the screen is where your soul count is going to be. And you can think of souls as money or just pretty much your upgrade material as far as leveling up. Ooh, and this guy just dropped a Sacred Chime right here, which is actually pretty rare from these guys. But basically what it does, even though it's in Japanese there, it's basically for you to cast faith spells. And it looks like you need 14 faith to use it, which is on the bottom right in that red number. It says 14. And of course that's no use to me because this is going to be a solid strength build. Alright, but let's go ahead and just run through over here. And my goal right now is to basically just try to get as many souls as I can so I can be leveled up as far as health goes for the beginning of the game. Alright, so over this way we're going to go ahead and find one of the toughest enemies in the beginning of the game. But he does give you a ton of souls, so it's going to help me level up pretty quick so you guys can see me get through this pretty quick. Which actually, for the first video, I think I'm just going to do a cutoff at about 20 minutes, just so I can make sure that everything sounds good for you guys, and make sure there's not too many errors on it. This guy likes to move a lot. Ooh, critical hit. Ooh. Well, that hurt. Oh, man. Man, this guy's quick. Alright, that's it. Be like an easy 4,000 souls just for killing this guy. And I got a Titanite scale, which you're going to use later on to basically upgrade your boss weapons, which you are going to get from soul transposition, as they call it. So that right there is super useful. Right here should be about a soul item that if you use it gives you about 800 souls. And as you can see on the bottom right, I have about 4,120 right now. So I had about 120 before, I got about 4,000 just for killing that enemy. So definitely very, very useful to take this guy out in the beginning if you can, if you're trying to level up pretty quick. So from here, we just need to go ahead and head to the right, but I'm going to kill this guy first. Alright. And I actually wasn't aware that this axe is so powerful. This is a little bit overpowered if you ask me. I'm just pretty much one-shotting enemies, so, but that's the whole point of a strength build, to do as much damage as you can per hit, so I'm already on the right track. Alright, so this is going to be the bonfire here. Of course, when you die, you're going to teleport back here to this specific spot and have to run back through the whole area you just went through that you died from, and you have to go pick up your souls. So every time you die, you drop your souls, which is that 4,144 there, on the ground into a little green lit area, and you have to go pick them up every single time you die, or they're gone for good if you die again on the way, or if you just forget them and die later. So always want to pick those up if you can. Although I'm going to try not to die too much, but I'm pretty sure I will somewhere, and you guys will be able to see that. Alright, so I'm just going to take these guys out real quick. Backstab. Yeah, and these guys are actually pretty easy to dodge, and that's the reason why I'm kind of not using a shield. But definitely it's going to be for whoever wants to use it. I mean, if you want to use a shield, I mean, that's great. Got to do what you got to do. But for me, I prefer not to, except for maybe some boss fights. Alright, let's see. I need to go back here real quick. I believe these guys down here... Oh yeah, there's fire bombs right there that I can use for enemies that are weak against fire. Alright, looks like I got 5 of them. So basically you just throw them at the enemy and they pretty much burst into flames. Always useful. Alright, so real quick before the boss fight, just going to go back to the bonfire. That way we can get full Estus flasks, which are basically those healing items you see on the bottom left side where it says 1. And it looks like a little glass that you drink out of. Alright, and when you sit at the bonfire, it refreshes it, and now I have 3. And I just got my first emote. Alright. I basically just chilling. Alright, but in order to access this list, you want to click left on the touchpad on the left side, and it'll pull up all of your emotes there. I mean, you have all the different kinds. You have a pointing one, like if you want to point, like if you have co-op people, you kind of want to point where to go. You have a celebration one. And of course, this one's most important. You always want to bow whenever you have a duel going on, or if you summon people in. I mean, it sounds kind of weird. I mean, in most multiplayer games, you definitely don't want to, you know, take the time to say hi to the person you're trying to kill, but in this game, that's how people play, so that's how I'm going to be doing it if I do summon people. Alright, so now let's go ahead and see if we can knock out the boss. Okay, and this is an upgrade stone, Titanite. This is going to be great for regular weapons that are not boss weapons. Basically, it's just going to make your weapons stronger when you use them. And I'll show you in a little bit where you need to go to upgrade your weapons. Alright. So like I said, these enemies are pretty weak here. And this will be the first challenge of the game right here. Besides, of course, the crystal lizard that I fought. But this guy right here, you definitely want to power up ahead of time. For when you take his sword out, that's when he basically activates. So, and right here, a lot of people don't, but I like to take a couple hits right now. Just because you actually can take some hits off his health bar and do a little damage, as you can see. Oh, you got me. Ooh, and when he does go down on one knee like that, you want to take as many hits as you possibly can. Gotta watch out for this attack here, because he does do a lot of damage from that right there. Alright, you want to try to stay behind this boss the whole time. And if you just keep wailing on him, you can take him out pretty quick. I think he only hit me once. Alright, so now that's the second bonfire there. And with these bonfires here, you can actually teleport to any bonfire you've activated in the game. So when you get the chance, say you need to go back to the beginning of the game because you forgot something or whatever it might be, you just sit at a bonfire and you can teleport anywhere. Alright, we got about, well, I might as well just extend this video to 25 minutes just so we can see everything in Firelink Shrine and get to a little bit of the first area, but I'm going to go ahead and see if I can just pick up these items here. This right here, this item is just a broken sword, which is pretty much useless, so I never really picked this up just because it kind of fills up my inventory with garbage, if you will. Alright, but this you do want to get, though. I'm going to come down the cliff here, and there is a Homeward Bone item right over there you can see lit up. Actually, see if I can kick this guy off the ledge. Oh, well, just hit him with a critical attack. Okay, so this Homeward Bone here, basically you use it and it'll take you back to any bonfire you last rested at, or the Firelink Shrine. Alright, so let's go ahead and make our way up here. Should just take a moment. And I believe there's a ember on this right side over here, which will make it so that you can increase your health from whenever you die, because your health does decrease by 30%. So you want to use an ember every chance you can, just to make sure that you have full health. Alright, so if I head up here and over to the right, oh, got a dog right here. And as you play through this game, you're going to notice that the dog is the most annoying enemy in the game, just because they jump around so much and they're so hard to hit, but they do have only a little bit of health, so you should be able to take them out real quick when you do hit them. Alright, so I just picked up my very first ember right from that spot over there. And it's going to be this item here. Basically, like I said, you use this to increase your health bar by 30% after dying, and also it will allow you to summon other players as well while it's active. And if you look at the top left side of the screen, you will see basically that I am embered. See that little fire type hue to it? It's basically saying that I can summon people, and also my health is increased to the maximum. Alright, so this area here is going to be the Firelink Shrine, which is basically going to be your hub area. And this is where you upgrade. As far as leveling up, you get to power up your weapons, and also talk to a few NPCs and go through a couple of quest lines here for them. But just getting started, since I just beat that boss, I did go ahead and get a bonfire sword that you want to place directly in the middle of this area. And basically what that's going to do is make it so that this hub world is basically activated. So from here, this is where you're going to upgrade everything, like I was saying. So when you're out in the world, if you need to come back and upgrade your character, upgrade weapons and all that, you're just going to want to teleport back here, and you can do it all instantaneously.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I am a firekeeper. I tend to the flame, and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones, and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side.
Alright, and this is the person that you are going to upgrade at. She's actually very reminiscent of the level up character from the very first game, Demon Souls. I guess since it's pretty much the final Dark Souls game, they tried to throw in a few things for the fans, you know, try to make it so that just get a little bit of nostalgia from it. And she actually says some of the things that are pretty similar to the Demon Souls level up character, which is pretty cool.
Very well.
But
then touch the
right now I'm
darkness
just going to
within
sit here
you.
and just upgrade my health as much as possible,
Take nourishment from these sovereignless souls.
just because of the fact that I'm not going to be using my shield as much through this walkthrough here. So definitely want to make sure that I increase my health as much as
Farewell,
possible,
Ashen One.
just to, in case there are mistakes, you know.
May the
I definitely don't want to
flames
get killed
guide
too
thee.
much and have so many setbacks on the video. Alright, so this is going to be the level up character, like I said, lady here. She's a firekeeper. And this right here is going to be the merchant, the main merchant that you buy things from. the Red Shrine Maiden, I believe.
A pleasure to make thine acquaintance, Ashen One. I am but a humble handmaid of the shrine. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells. I've lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler. And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away. Ashen One, fetch souls and bring them to me. As is thy wont, no?
Alright, so she basically just says that she wants ash so she can basically sell more items. So as you find different ashes through the game, you give them to her, and her inventory will basically increase and she'll sell more items. But basically this is what we have so far. Got a couple of different things, like this is to repair your weapon in the field in case it breaks. That's going to be poison moss, basically removing the poison status from you. These are the fire bombs that I picked up earlier, which are really good against the undead enemies, and it also stuns enemies so you can get a couple hits in. These right here are going to be items that you basically drop on the ground, so just in case you do get lost and you're basically getting turned around, you can put those down in different areas and it'll make it so that you'll see that and be like, oh, I've already been there, and you're not going to be backtracking too much. Alright, these are the homeward bones I was talking about. This is going to make it so that you can teleport back to the bonfire in the middle of the level if you need to. The best example of a time you want to do that is if you get all the way to the boss and you have no Estus Flask left. You probably don't want to go into the boss fight with no Estus Flask. So you're going to want to use that homeward bone to go back to the bonfire, get your Estus Flask back, and try to make a cleaner run through to the boss to make sure you have as many as possible for the fight. This is going to be the White Sign Summon Stopestone, and this is going to make it so that you can summon other players, or excuse me, other players can summon you. You'll basically use this item, and it'll leave a sign on the ground basically so other players can see it, and if they decide they want to invite you to their world, you can do some jolly co-op, basically. Help them out, kill bosses, do whatever you got to do. Alright, I'm definitely going to be buying this. Alright, and of course you got a healing spell here, a couple of daggers, swords, things like that I'm not going to need. This right here is going to be for, of course, faith miracles, basically for those spells. This is a staff for intelligence builds. This fire is definitely good for later on, which actually I should just buy it now. And of course you got a couple of shields down here. And our first armor set you can buy, and arrows. But
Ashen One.
Other than that, for now, next thing we want to do is come over to the blacksmith.
Okay. You're in search.
I'm going to go ahead and skip this stuff because all he says is basically, oh, I upgrade your weapons and stuff like that and make them stronger. But this guy's actually, his name's Andre, and he's from the first Dark Souls games, which definitely took place a long time ago in terms of the timeline. And how he's still alive, I'm not sure, because if I'm not mistaken, it's been a few hundred years at least. But he's still kicking. Alright, but this is where you're going to upgrade your weapons. You're going to need Titanite shards, which is going to be this weapon, or this item here, excuse me. If you look on the left side there, that right there is going to be the Titanite shard that you're going to need to upgrade regular weapons. And then we do have the Titanite scales right there that you're going to use for boss weapons that you will get from boss souls later on. Right, but one thing you do want to do if you're going to be doing a strength build, I know this is all in Japanese, but basically this selection down here, right here, is going to make it so that you can see which Estus Flasks that you have. So the ones on the left, of course, are going to be the regular Estus Flask you drink from to heal. The blue one on the right will make it so that you can drink that and it refills your focus points, which you can use for magic or for different weapon arts, which I'll get into a little later. So I'm going to put everything into the Estus Flask for right now, because I do want as much healing as possible. Alright, so now we need to get out of here. Alright, and as far as everything else, I'll definitely be going through this as we play through the game.
Be
so I'm
careful.
going to bypass it for now. But this does look like it's going to be the end of the first video in about 40 seconds here. Alright, but I do want to thank everybody for watching, and of course I will be putting up part 2 as soon as possible here on live stream. I'm just going to take a quick break, and I will be back so you guys can see the next part. Alright, thank you very much. Have a good one.